Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel of Bethel Evangelical Free Church Hanley. I'm Pastor Gervais Charmley. This is a video of a Derbyshire church. This is Church Hulland. It's a very good example of a relatively little altered church from the 1830s, 1840s. The parish here, it's really part of what was a larger, older parish, but Hulland is settled. Population increases because of industry, particularly mining around here, of course, and as a result, it grows. So a church is needed, and they build a very simple example, what's known as the Commissioner's Gothic. That is the kind of style that was preferred by the church commissioners. And as we look around, we'll see some of the surviving original features, as well as some of the alterations that have been made to this church over the years. So let's have a look around. And so here we are inside Church Hulland. Now this is unusual because it's a church that's built very much a low church evangelical style. So we don't actually have a font at the back. There is an old font here, but it's not used. Well, there was an old font here. There certainly is now a small font at the front, a little font in a sort of wooden box thing, which is very much suitable for the kind of churches. You'll notice, of course, immediately the two-decker pulpit. I suspect there was a third deck originally, but that has gone. That would be the clerk's desk. You've got a two-decker pulpit there, these cast iron columns on which the gallery stands, and here you have the box pews. So these open and close. You see there we have a door, and they're left open these days, of course, most of the time. And because they're open for people to get in, and then you close it once you have taken your seat. The style is this simple Gothic. You've got this simple wide tracery here, very typical of the period. You've got modern light fittings, of course. Not very many memorials. The most important one is the one above the pulpit, which, as we look up here, we shall see this is to the glory of God in affectionate remembrance, the Reverend Charles Evans, M.A., the first vicar of this parish from 1838 to 1855, and from 1867 to 1875, in all for 25 years. He died at Blackwall, May the 5th, 1886. So you have here they're buried at Kirk Ireton, and this originally was part of Kirk Ireton parish. We have later glass here in the east window. Obviously, chancel screen is later. The screen, I suspect there's a date on it somewhere here. Chancel screen, 1960s, 1961, I think it says there, and there's the arms of the people who gave it. Of course, chancel screens, this kind of church doesn't need one. It's not originally intended to have one. We have simple commandment boards, and we have east window is 1860s, very simple, and we've got faith and hope the anchor. In this one, looking west, we have the organ up in the gallery, and it does look as if the organ case has been chopped off. You can see the extra pipes over there, because actually that organ case was designed to be in a taller building. But it's been put up in the gallery. Gallery is quite deep, certainly for seating as well as for musicians. Nice, simple lectern, and here is the modern font, and you can see the piano there. We have a folding table there. The prayer stool is dated 1945. And there's your two-decker. You've got your lower section, that of course is for the reading of the liturgy, and then you have the upper section, the pulpit proper, where preaching takes place. So very, very simple. We have a little war memorial here. Just three names for 1939-45, Albert Fenn and Joseph Harrison, Stokers, Royal Navy, Alfred Henry Gregory, Sergeant Pilot, RAF VR, that's Royal Air Force Volunteer Reserve. The Stokers, of course, they're by the Second World War. Stoker really is an old-fashioned name. You're not to think of people who are shoveling coal into boilers, rather they are maintaining the burners on oil for the most part. There's a little bit of coal-fired in the Navy, but mostly it's oil, because oil is more reliable, and you don't have that business where the stokers get exhausted and can't carry on stoking. Little Reredos there with Christ as a good shepherd. This is sheep country, really. So again, incredibly simple. It's a box with a little box on the end. Also, there's a tower. I'm recording this the week that Queen Elizabeth II died. So there's a book of condolences for her in the for the royal family in the tower, which acts as a porch, which is quite common in these cases. So you can see here we have the tower, and we've got a single bell, just a bidding bell to call people. You see up there's where the bell goes, and the tower also acts as the staircase here for the gallery, but we won't go up the gallery. So there we have the inside of Christ Church Hulland. And so we are now outside of Christ Church Hulland. It's a lovely setting in the Derbyshire countryside, in the I'm not quite sure it's officially in the Peak District. It's definitely in really the sort of this upland area. It's a very simple building. It's behind me in the trees. So just tower, nave, chancel, just a few boxes. We'll have a look at the outside and make a few comments about really how this sort of church works, and also the importance of this kind of building. And so here we are outside at Hulland. You see your local stone and tower. We'll walk around the outside and make a few comments. You can see you've got the vestry off on one side of the tower. There's the doorway, and then the window lighting the way. And of course the vestry now has, as you would expect, a toilet block attached. Very important, because these days we don't really do things the way they did in the 19th century. And then very nice lancet windows, sheds, because this is the north side. This is the side with fewer graves on it. By this point, the old idea where the north, I can just see through there the pews in the gallery, but the old idea on the north side was the less favoured side, where you bury, for example, suicide, this sort of thing, had been abolished, and it was now it's all the graveyard, because that's what you do. And so here we are, looking back, see that little tower up there, and the chancel certainly has been extended, which we'd expect. We expect the original chancel to have been very, very small. It just looked like it may well have been extended. It's still not a big chancel. And as we come round here, got these lovely local slate gravestones. How short is life, how short is death. Our days, alas, are few. This mortal life is but a breath, 'tis like the morning dew. These poetical epitaphs. I don't tend to do gravestones like this anymore. But what is man that he liveth and shall not see death? What man is he that liveth and shall not see death? The answer is no man, with a few exceptions that prove the rule, namely, of course, Enoch and Elijah. I think Elijah's interesting, of course, because he's the man who says, "Lord, let me die," and God's response is, "No, I'm not going to let you die." And there we see again this chancel, nave, tower. The point of the gallery here is simply accommodation, it's simply seating. So it's the idea that it's cheaper to build a tall building with a gallery than to build a long building without a gallery. So there we are, here we are on the south side, and that is Christ Church. And it's important because this is a period when church building becomes more common again. there's this long period where there are very few churches built, and then this decision now we need, as the population is growing, we need now to build more Anglican churches. The population growth really through the latter part of the 19th century was very often a matter of it's picked up by the nonconformists. You can see this site here, lovely view. It's picked up by the nonconformists, by the Methodists in particular, and then there's the realisation, no, we do need more accommodation in the Anglican churches. And so churches like this are built very simple, but you've still got this, it's recognisably a parish church style. It's just that the proportions are all different from the Middle Ages because the function is different. This isn't a setting for the medieval Mass, this is a setting for the Reformed liturgy of the Church of England. Hence, of course, the prominent pulpit and the very small chancel. And so there you have it, Christ Church Hulland, a lovely example of this early 19th century, second quarter of the 19th century Anglican church, a building that follows some medieval examples. It's Gothic, for example, it's got a tower, it's got a chancel, it's got a nave, but at the same time is built for the Reformed liturgy of the prayer book rather than for the medieval liturgy of the Sarum Missal. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy these videos. I enjoy making them. It's good to get out and see these little churches, to share them with other people around the world. So thank you for watching, and may God bless you and keep you until the next time.